Hey there friends, I am back today with another process video, making a layout with a cut file from Peartree Cutfiles. And when I saw this design this month, I knew that I just had to do it and I had to use it. It's called Now Boarding with this amazing cruise ship. And I am documenting some photos. Actually, it ends up being just one photo from a cruise that I took in 2019 to Alaska. And that's one of my all-time favorite places to cruise. This was actually our third time cruising there. And if you're ever looking for somewhere to cruise, I would absolutely recommend going to Alaska. It's every time been the most wonderful experience ever. So you'll see that I was just finishing up backing my cut file. My favorite way to back it is to take the negative part, so to take the letters like the B, the O, the A, and so on, flip them over and trace them on the back of the pattern paper that I want them to have the design that I want, and then attach them. And then I save the letters and I put them back in the letter to put in all those middle parts. You'll see I just did that a couple moments ago. And then I wanted the word now to pop. Originally I thought I was going to be putting this whole layout together on white cardstock, and sometimes white on white just doesn't really pop. So I pulled out some of my distress ink and a sponge, and I went ahead and I colored the word now. So I'm using the Here and There collection from Simple Stories, which is full of some really great colors for Alaska. Even though I've always traveled to Alaska in August, it's never really cold. It's never really, nope, I said that opposite. It's never really too hot. It's always on the cooler side, like the 60s, maybe low 70s, 50s. So it always feels like fall to me whenever we're there in August. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words today. So I like these darker colors for this type of memory. So you'll see here that I am trying to make this pattern paper work. I'm also trying to make two photos work. However, I just couldn't make it work. And so flash forward, I took a little bit of time off camera to think about it, and I pulled out a piece of craft cardstock, and craft seems to go really well with this collection with these darker colors. And so I am using these tearing guides, which have to be like 20 years old. I think they're by Fiskars. I actually had brought them to my classroom thinking I could use them with my students, and never used them and had them tucked away. And when I was cleaning at the end of the school year, I pulled them out and thought to myself, these are kind of back in style. So I used them to get a nice tear along the edge of the dotted paper, which was the one I was originally trying to use as the background. And then also that striped paper, which is one of my absolute favorites in this kit. And I have determined that if it's my favorite, I want to use it. So I'm not saving papers anymore if they're my favorites. I'm going to use them. I'd rather see them in my scrapbooks. Now, unfortunately, this, excuse me, I tripped over my words again. This border strip is not 12 inches. It comes on the sticker sheet. And so I went ahead and I cut it where I'm going to hide it. I'm going to put a tag there. And that way I can stretch it all the way across the layout. And then I'm just taking the offcut piece of one of them with the blue map. It was a leftover piece from tearing. I don't remember if it was the dot or the stripe. And I'm tucking that on the bottom. And then I'm going ahead and using that frame. I'm covering up the part that has the suitcases on it, and I'm just going to have that frame tucking out behind the ship. And then I'm trying to decide which tag I want to put on top of the layout, and I'm going to have it upside down, sort of hanging from the top of the layout. So I have my cut file laid down, and I had one more piece of flair left in this pack, this really pretty yellow one that says sunshine. I put some tangled thread under it. This is a new product for Peartree cut files, the canvas flair. One thing I really like about it is it's very thin, so that's nice. It doesn't add a lot of extra bulk. So I felt super accomplished because I had that one piece just kind of kicking around, and I used it. Alright, I'm making sure that I have enough foam behind the boat, and I have to kind of be careful because there's chipboard behind there. And I think at this stage I am still trying to fit in both of my photos. And I finally realized that it's just not going to work. We're going to have to go with one. But I did make a companion page for this. See, there we go. I'm still trying to put it in there. I mean, if I didn't want my mom's face to show, it would work, but not really the look I was going for. Anyway, I did make a companion page with that photo that was left and a photo of some bracelets by Alex and Ani that my mom and I collect when we go to Alaska. We discovered that they have one at every port, a different design that sort of symbolizes the place you're at. So I shared that layout, I think it was this past week. It was a 9x12 layout. And so that'll go right next to this in the album. And it's using the same collection, so it coordinates. I'm using this really pretty twine that I think I got at Marshall's over the Christmas season. And it's got, you know, the normal twine jute color, and then it has some gold running through it, which I think the gold accents look really pretty with this collection. I add a subtitle over the word "now boarding." It says, "Let the adventure begin." And then I'm going to come into the decorating portion, and I know that I want to tuck a bunch of florals underneath the ship on the right side. And so I start with the sticker book. And these stickers are pretty thin. Most of the time I will mount the stickers on cardstock and I'll cut it out to make it into a die cut, but to also give it some substance and a little bit more thickness. But since this was getting placed directly on the back of the layout, I didn't worry about that. I don't think you can tell how thin it is. I also go through the sticker sheet. I believe that I go through the chipboard and I pull out lots of different floral pieces. I pop some up and I get that all decorated on the right side of the boat. So then I feel like there's sort of an odd spot up on the left top of the boat, and so I decide to add a floral cluster there as well. And then, because I'm usually all about visual triangles, I add some florals down underneath the O and the A. And that way your eye's sort of drawn all around the page to those 3 floral clusters. So you're going to see me add those down to the bottom in a moment or two. I'm going to pull in some more foam stickers and put those around my layout. Oh, I put the floral cluster above the O and the A. I apologize, there's a bit of a lag on my video while I'm recording this voiceover, and I should have pulled the layout out to look at while I'm talking about it, and I did not. These are some bits and pieces from Peartree Cutfiles. They are just little flowers. I think there might be hearts in this pack in the perfect colors that match this collection. And so I sprinkle those all around the layout. And I love these little pieces. They're just the perfect little finishing touch to add to clusters and to add little scattering pieces around. Adding some more phrase stickers there at the bottom to complete the title. And then I'm going to go to work up on the tag, and I pull out a chipboard camera, and then I'm going to spell the location of where we are. We're in Ketchikan in this photo, and it is a very long name, so I end up having to split it in half, and I'm just pulling up the exact photo on my phone so that I can make sure I spell Ketchikan correctly. And I'm not going to tell you how many times I moved these letter stickers around before I found just the right placement. I edited that out for you so you can see it all finished, but there was quite a bit of movement around. I'm going to add in some of the adhesive brads, and then I'm going to finish it off with some white splatters, which you'll see coming up. If you're interested in this cut file, I'll leave a link to it in the description box below. Be sure to check out all of the July releases from Peartree Cutfiles, including bits and pieces, acrylic pieces, flair, new project packs. There's a lot of great stuff going on there. So definitely swing by and check it out. I'll leave a link in the box below. I hope you enjoyed this layout today. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I hope that you get some scrappy time. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.